Hey guys, welcome back to the recap here for this weekend, and we're getting close to the holiday time frame for Christmas. So that's always a fun time, but it also is a time you got to start being careful with in the markets. People start taking vacations. Uh, Companies start to have shorter staff, projects and stuff. They start wrapping up to the end of the year. You just see some weird price action. So just caution for you. But I don't get into that too much here. But again, just for caution, be careful with the crypto X scene as well. Lots going on there. A lot of people are saying it's going to the moon. A lot of people say it's Christmas rally. A lot of people say it's going to do this, do that. It doesn't. You gotta be careful in that space, just because you always hear that stuff. I know people like to have that warm and fuzzy, this is what's going to happen, but if you kind of know what's going to happen because of the charts and learn how to read the TA and get yourself into this, you don't have to worry quite so much because you kind of have a pretty good idea of what's going on. But let's go ahead and dig into the charts. We did have a weekly candle close not too long ago, and let's go ahead and dig into it and see kind of what happened here. So I'm going to go ahead and look at where we're at right now and what's going on here. So we did have this happen here on Friday morning, and then we had this hard drop. And then through the weekend, this is typical, right? We did have a pretty good sideways price action. You can see I kind of drew some of these levels in here, and this was the daily market review for Sunday. I like to usually run it that day and kind of see how things are playing out. You can see how it came down and then broke right back up in there on Sunday here, and then we traded on down. And the reason why you see me put this big line on here is because I kind of want to see what happened on Friday if we were going to run into continuation on Sunday. That's usually what happens. So the overall drop was pretty close. This was a smaller flag on the time frame that we had drawn right here when the price actually started to break down. If we broke that down, it looks like it was kind of go down in that area. You can see it pretty much pegged it for you. This is the longer time frame. If you kind of match Friday's price action going into through the weekend, which was pretty meh, right? You did have, like we always talk about, use the 200 and the 21. Here you can see that they're interacting and holding you more bearish, and we were starting to look at breaking down. So that actually did play out. And that's why I marked this line. Now, this could be anywhere really in here. I'm not going to dig into it too much, but really we're just looking for points of contact. So you had the recovery, the bounce, and then the grind, bounce, grind. So for myself, what I was looking for was for this to start to break this area because I wanted to see if it's going to continue Friday's price action on this drop. So this is kind of where I'd be marking right here on the breakdown to kind of where it bounced. You could come back to the line. You decide what you kind of want for yourself, but these are kind of the areas that you'd be looking for right through here. It's not rocket science. This is kind of the idea. You can see that it did bounce there. These are triggers I was looking for earlier in the day when we were watching this play out, but you can see right through here in the early morning. Then we had the 6 o'clock right around on this bigger drop. We had the recovery right back up into the area that we were building out our daily market review, and of course it just kind of played right off on Friday, came right down into the weekend close and the Sunday close for the end of the day at around 8 o'clock here. Or 6 o'clock, sorry, my time, and then it started to come back up. We're going to see kind of a little bit of volatility just because you're in a new candle now and things are going on. So I do want to jump out and take a look at that a little bit more in detail because it's happening right now. We're in this. I will zoom out a little bit here because we already have the candle. So like right here is your point of control after this weekly candle close, and then we also have the volume area low way back up in here. So this could just start to grind and fall out of bed, if you will, and just start going down. And if that does happen, let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. We do have, I'm going to zoom the charts out a little further now so you can see a bigger picture here. So we do have a strong level here on the weekly. It's around the 85,500. I do see us possibly grinding down in that area and holding. I would not be surprised if we could even just start grinding in that area. We do have a bigger picture here that could drive out. And that's down into this lower area here, and this could play out this bigger time frame. Puts us down here in that 70,000 range. But I would not be surprised if we start to play down in this area and just start to grind. Really, this is kind of a hard line in the sand for a lot of reasons, and a lot of TA work can go into that, and you can dig into it. Obviously, I'm not going to track into it until it really starts to happen, and we get down there, we'll analyze it then. I do see us probably staying around this 80 to 85,000 range, really start to grind there just because of the way price action's interacting. Let me jump out to the longer time frames on the daily, and these are the weekly levels. That's why I have marked here, and this is also marked off the Fibonacci levels. So you have the 786 on the weekly, the 0.5, and the 618, and then you have the golden pocket all the way down in this area on the monthly time frames, and weekly, those are hard zones. You can see that we've kind of been playing around in this area. Would not be surprised if we kind of go down in this area and then grind out, possibly come back up here and then grind down here and head off. You could kind of create this kind of head and shoulders pattern and break out. We'll have to kind of see. I'm not saying one way or another right now. I just like to mark my charts out so I can see like we were talking about, right? What is really going on? Mark your stuff up so you know. So anyways, we're on the daily. The daily is rolling over here. You can see this histogram's rolling over. This is RSI is trying to fold here. Your stochages are coming down. Now this could just grind down into here. Would not surprise me if you kind of bounce in this area. This was the up track, if you will, that it was grinding in. And we got the close below it, and now we're kind of back testing it right now on this daily's candle. So this could grind down a little lower. Now, is it going to start to just hammer down? That is the question. If it does start to hammer down, we really need to start going out to the bigger time frames. A 3-day is always a good point to look at. And one thing that I don't like is we lost this 200 right here on the 3-day chart. And we did that right here on this Sunday chart. Crashed right through it, and now we're headed down. So this is, this was the 3-day chart. So that's 3 days before it fills that bar. And we did it here on the end of the Sunday. Now we're starting the next 3 days. So we're going to start to grind on down here. We'll have to kind of watch it. I mean, obviously the 200 hasn't rolled over, and you still have your 21 way up here. But let's kind of watch this. This is kind of telling you, are we going to go on up into that weekly time frame? And that weekly, let's go find its 200. It's way down here at this level. Now it was further as the weeks go by and things are slowly grinding. This is slowly climbing up. And that's kind of what I'm watching. As this weekly starts to close in and maybe we do bounce down and start to head down in this area and grind. As this starts getting stronger and stronger, it's going to start to create support here and possibly hold. Let's watch it, how things plan out. That's why I was saying we'll just have to kind of see how things are when we get there. And that's what we're kind of looking for in this. So something just to kind of give you a food for thought and how to kind of watch the charts and really what you want to see. So really, for me, the weekly is still sitting neutral. And I always say neutral is because you have your 21 up here and you have your 200 down here. Anywhere in between this space right here is kind of that no trade zone. Now you could watch this obviously trade back up. It bounces this, you take it in an entry possibly here with a short, and then trade this on down to this level. That is a possibility on trading. And bigger time frames is a lot safer than in lower time frames when you see this kind of a neutral settings. But really, the weekly is not rolled over bearish yet. Let's watch to see how this 200 interacts. Now, we've been losing the time frames as we go up, but that doesn't mean that things can't slow down, find some stability. The 200 starts to come up, it starts to grind up, and everything starts to reset and show strength, and we build a bottom here, and then we run back up. Because overall, we're still sitting in a bullish move. We're just in a smaller bearish setback right now. If you're looking at the bigger picture here, really that this area back here is really what I'm watching for to hold the line in the sand, and that's really where this does go. This could continue to grind up. This may grind sideways through here and then break down through here, right into this area. So we may see 70,000, and that's the major support zone. That's also when a lot of people are going to freak if we go through this area. I know a lot of people are calling these lower areas, but I mean, Bitcoin has never grounded through its top like that. Not that it can't happen, but that is a strong area of support for that kind of reason. It's against behavior of BTC. So something I'm definitely keeping on the radar as well. This will freak out the market if it hits at the crypto market, BTC market as well. So just kind of something to watch for. Now we're sitting on the weekly right now. The weekly already does show that it wants to start to roll back over. You can see it grinding back up right now. Now we haven't really seen the rest of the MACD really roll yet, so this could start to grind back down a little lower. We are seeing the RSI is still kind of coming down, and you're kind of flat on the slower or faster moving average over the slower. So we'll have to kind of watch, you know, that's a kind of concern. And then the stoaches don't really mean a ton because they could sit down here for a while, but they are bottomed out. They're ready to kind of move and start heading back up and pushing price up. So we'll have to kind of just watch. That's what I'm watching here on the weekly to see how things kind of grind on down. And then definitely a great time. People always ask, like, hey, when's the best time to accumulate BTC? When it's where it's at, right? It's where it's scariest right now. People are like, oh, it's going to keep dumping, or it's going to go all the way down here, it's going to go all the way there. These are all levels that you know, not financial advice here, just some guy talking on the internet helping you out, but these are all great places to acquire BTC. And then you have these key levels of support to kind of help you make decisions in that area. Now, I would never say to dump all in. Always manage your funds and be wise on how you invest. It's better to put in, you know, chunks. Even if you didn't catch this, say this price action came down and you added a chunk of your cash in here, right in this area, and then you're waiting for it to come down to add in a good chunk down in here because you're like, oh, that'd be great, get really cheap, kind of a mindset, and then it starts to grind back up. More than likely, it's going to bounce and kind of do this. You know, you can start adding more funds in this area right through here. And then when it starts to come back up and really shoot out, yeah, you didn't get it as much down here as you wanted, but you're still way below than, you know, buying way up in this area, the 100,000 plus range. You're still getting a really good buy down through here and let it grind back up. I mean, you're still could be buying around 80,000, 85,000, 90,000. Those are all great places to accumulate BTC. And the nice thing is you're just dollar cost averaging in. So always keep that in the back of your mind. Manage your funds, be smart with it. You can always seek out for financial advice from, you know, that qualified, smart, educated personnel. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the lower time frames. I took a look at, actually, let's jump into the daily real quick. And I think I did mention this a little bit, but we did have this grinding wedge that we were kind of following into. And then we had this bigger pattern up here that we had been talking about, and that's right through this topping area, and then we bounced and grinded. We lost the 200, this is when you start to look at accumulating, is what I would always say. You can run that Fibonacci, which I've pointed it out in the past on how to do that. But anyways, you can see it's starting to give you accumulation areas, and then I was watching this area for this pullback because we went back through that 21, and that 21 could have been flipping the pattern, but we came right back up into the same bearish pattern that we were into. We were rejected off of it for, really, we tried on 1, there's 2, there's 3, and here's the 4th day. We fell on down, started to grind down, had a slow day, but that was also the Saturday, and then the Sunday we went ahead and fell, and now we're actually crashing through this. We got the close. You can see here we didn't get the close on these. We closed right on it. We opened actually right on it and went away from it. We went through it and closed back through it, and we pushed up, and now we actually closed below it, and we'll kind of watch this candle, right? The next 24 hours kind of tell us, are we going to grind on down, or are we going to start to fight back up into here? Now, really, when it fights back up into here, though, it has to take it, right? It has to get back up into this descending, where this descending line is, and it has to really break it and then build support on top of it to really show, hey, we're going to get up in this area and hold and reset a new pattern. Not saying that what can or can't happen, but when you're trying to call things out or look for it, right now your daily is full bearish. Well, because we're underneath the 21, you can see it rolling down through here, and you're underneath the 200 right up here. So that's bearish. We went bearish really on Saturday, and on Sunday pushed down, and then really this candle could continue on down and start to fight in these areas down through here, and start to play in this area and grind further out. This pattern right here, what I'm looking for, this is the same area from this breakdown area right here, and then matched a breakout of this area that we just saw, and it should break us down to right around that 66,000 range. Obviously there's some support through here that it could grind down into and find a support areas before it gets there, but that is the longer target, you know, and 70,000 does look like it could be on the table. So that's just a basic targeting. Now you could cut this in half and say, well, you're only going to go about 50% of that. And so if we looked at possibly 50%, hang on, let me move this back up. And there we go, 50%, say it goes to somewhere in here. So if we wanted to go basically 50% of this, you're looking at somewhere in this area right through here is roughly that 50% drop. Now we could also say, now let's go a little less aggressive and say, no, we're going to go down to the next major support area. But regardless, your zones aren't too far off from each other. So you have around 77,500, maybe 78,000. 78,000 is a strong area. So this could easily just grind down here and then start to build in this zone. So that is something I would definitely watch out for, is just something like this in this pocket for us to kind of grind down into and, you know, start to trade and grind and trade on through. And then start to break out as time starts to reset. And we're resetting. I'm just going to watch the 200 grind down here on the longer time frame, and from there catch underneath price. 21 catch underneath price, so that means we're more bullish, right? Neutral to bullish, and then we head back up. We'll have to watch that. The 4 hour right now is still showing that it could possibly keep coming down. You do have a little bit of exhaustion here, but typically this could go down a little further. It's already rolled back over on its MACD. The stochages are bottomed out, so we'll have to kind of watch to see how this plays. We could be getting into more of a bounce. Now you do have the 4 hour, or the 1 hour right now has already been fully exhausted here on the RSI. We've been pushed down pretty hard on the MACD. It does show that it wants to possibly bounce and try to recover a little bit here. We're kind of watching that as well. And then the 15-minute, you know, it's obviously pretty close to what's going on right now. Current price action we're sitting at here in the evening time frame. The 21 right now is still putting pressure on it. You're still bearish because of that. It tried to get above it, opened right back up and came back down below. Now, could this grind up through here and start to create some type of strength? Yes, it very well could. This did hit target. It did wick down into this pole right here that we had drawn out for the lower time frames, and it traded there. So you can't ask for it to do a whole lot. Now this could come back in and kind of bounce around in here and then trade on out. We'll just have to watch it and see, but we'll see how good Monday morning is setting up, and we'll do the recap then and analyze price action the same way we did for the weekend. So hopefully that helped you out with some of the levels. Take a look at your charts and find that key support and really make decisions ahead of time. Get your levels on the charts. We talked a little bit about those levels today, and they're on my charts. They don't leave. I'm going to keep analyzing it until we start to see the support catch back underneath of it, which is really those moving averages. Once we get down to those levels, we can see if the moving averages start to carry the charts, and then you'll start to know, hey, we're starting to build strength here, and we're going to start to build back out of here. And you don't have to rely on this. A lot of the voices of people, kind of like me, I guess, really online, that constantly just drive hopium into people, and we don't want to trade on hopium. We want to trade on actually analysis and solid reasoning of what we do. And so hopefully you're listening to people that are feeding that as well. But like and subscribe, guys. Check out any of our content on our videos. We do have quite a bit out there, and we can help you in a lot of ways on our own channel for education. We are building quite a few tools, and we hope to get them out to you guys as well. That way people can start taking advantage of it and really start to learn this kind of stuff. And of course, we're using more cutting edge technology, which is out there, which is AI. And I would never say to trade with AI, but AI is designed to be a tool and help people cut down time on education and getting things done. That heavy lifting, that product analysis type thing, we can definitely help you in that area. So, all right, guys, hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you in the next recap. Talk to you soon.